Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Kosi, and in today's video I will be sharing with you guys on how to make this beautiful short pencil skirt with a tail layered net, as you can see in the video and on the side of the screen. So if this sounds like something I'm interested to know, please keep on watching and let's get started. So guys, these are the two fabrics I'm going to be working with. Here is my Ankara and I also have my net. So for the Ankara I have just 1 yard, and for the net I have 4 yards for the net. Yes, so right now just go ahead and spread it into two like this. Can you see what I'm doing here? Just go ahead and fold it into two. Then after folding it into two like this, I'll just go ahead and draw a straight line at the downside here. So here is where the skirt length is going to stop. So for the skirt length, what I'll mark is a total of 19 inches. So 18 inches is the skirt length plus 1 inch for the sewing allowance. So I also subtracted 2 inches for the waistband, as you can see. So I just drew a straight line across like this. Can you see? So I came down by 8 inches, still leaving my tape at the 2 inches for the waist. I came down by 8 inches. This is for the hip line. So after making a straight line with the 8 inches, now I'm going to divide the waist circumference by 4, then add 1 inches for the dart, then 2 inches for the seam allowance. For the hip, divide it by 4, then add 2 inches for the seam allowance. So I measured the total number I have there for the hip, then I subtracted 1 inch at the downside, you can see, and I also went ahead to connect from the waistline to the hem, just like this. You can see what I did here. So after I was done doing this, I'll just go ahead and cut it off just like this. Can you see? So after cutting, I'll also go ahead and fold this fabric again into two, then place the first piece on top of it just like this, then give 1 inch space for the zip allowance, then go ahead and cut it off just like you see me doing here. After cutting on the waistline, I'll mark 4 inches for the dart. You can see where I marked it, 4 inches for the dart. I will just go ahead and notch it just like this. After notching, I'll just go ahead and slash the zipper side into two like this. Can you see? Go ahead and do it like this. Then after slashing it into two, I'll also go ahead and notch the zipper allowance just at the top. You get? So after I was done doing this, next thing I'm going to do is to cut out the lining. So this is the lining I'm working with. After folding it into two like this, I'll just go ahead and place the first piece, then go ahead and cut it. At first, I make sure that I cut the both fabric and the lining the same equal length. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just cut the same equal length, and after cutting it like this, I went ahead to subtract half an inch for the lining only. So after sewing with the skirt, I'm going to have a turn up. Do you get? That's why I subtracted the half an inch there. Do you get what I'm saying? I also went ahead to notch the upper part, so I know the upper part for the lining. So this is for the zipper allowance side, you can see. So I went ahead to cut it, then after cutting it like this, I also do the same thing I did at the front piece by removing half an inch on the lining only. Do you get? Then after cutting it like this, you can see where I have here. So this is for the turn up. You get? If you don't understand what I'm saying, please look at what I'm doing. You're going to understand it very well when sewing. Do you get? After doing it, I also notch the upper part lining. Can you see what I have here? So you can see that the main fabric and the lining is not of the same length because of the turn up I told you guys it's going to have. Okay, so after that, I'll make sure that my lining is the same thing with the front piece. So I came down by 1 inch on the waistline, then I slanted it into the center front. You can see what I have here. So this is just to enable our skirt sit perfectly by the time I face the band, the waistband. So after cutting, you can see where I have here. So I'll just go ahead and start the sewing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to go ahead and open the front piece, that is the front part of the skirt. I'll open it the right side, then go ahead and place the lining the right side facing each other like this. Now after placing, you're going to now head over to a sewing machine, then go ahead and sew the both lining and the fabric together at the hem. So after sewing, you're going to have something like this, then go ahead and sew the both side. So this is the turn up. So after doing this, I'll do the same thing on the back piece, then I'll be right back. So guys, after I was done doing that, I'll quickly explain what I did here. So what I did here was, after sewing the down part, I also went ahead to make my darts and also sew the both sides. So I'll just quickly turn it over to the wrong side, and I'm just removing the pin I already pinned on the zipper allowance side for the back. So this is what I have after I was done removing my pin. So right here, I'll just go ahead and explain what I did here. So now I've turned it over to the wrong side. Now this is the dart, and for the dart I have 5.5 inches for the dart length. As you can see, I did the same thing on the front side as well. So the dart length for the back and front are the same thing, as you can see. Then I also joined the both sides using the hip circumference and the waist circumference as well. So after that, I'll just place my tape to measure what I have from the side of the zipper to this other end, and I have 37 inches, as you can see. So this is the net I'm working with. I cut out 2 yards for the net. Remember I said it's 4 yards in total, so I just cut out 2 yards for the flare part, you guys. So right now, after folding it in a triangular shape, you're going to fold in a triangular shape. Then after that, you're going to now divide your waist by 2, you get. Divided by 2. When I divide it by 2, I have 18.5 inches. So I'll just go ahead and place it like this just to get the 18.5 inches. Then after placing, now you can see where I have here, I just had 18.5 inches exactly. So I'll just use my scissors to cut it in a straight line, just like this. So go ahead and cut yours like this. Just watch what I'm doing here so you know how to do yours like this. Okay, so you can see I'm cutting it straight. So go ahead and cut your straight like this. Then after cutting, you can see where I have here. So I'll just go ahead and arrange my net in place, just like this. Go ahead and arrange your net in place. Just watch what I'm doing here. So this is how you arrange it in place, just like this. After arranging, then you go ahead and fold it again. Can you see? Go ahead and fold it again. So right now you can see where I have here. So now it's unfold into 4. It's unfold into 4 now. So what I'm going to do is to place my skirt. So I noticed that the upper part was not equal, so I went ahead to trim off the excess I have at the upper part. Can you see? So after doing that, I'll just place the skirt. You can see the length of the skirt. I have 18 inches, right? So after placing the skirt here, I'll also go ahead and place my tape. Then I'll mark 6 inches. So for the net, I added extra 6 inches for the net, just like you see me doing. So the total skirt length with the toe is 40 inches. So the 18 inches for the short skirt plus this 6 inches I added here is 24 inches. So 24 inches. All right, so 40 minus 24, you are going to have 16 inches left. Okay, so after I was done cutting this, I'll make sure that I cut everything in equal. Do you get? So we're going to divide the 16 inches left, but that would be later. So let me just explain it one after the other. So right here, I'm removing my pins for the zipper. Now I am going to just place it like this. Then go ahead and place my net on top of it. Once I place it, I'll just pin it down with my pin so it's not going to shift when sewing. So I'll just go ahead and pin it down just like this. Can you see what I'm doing here? So guys, after pinning, I'll head over to my sewing machine. I'll go ahead and sew on the waistline. So after sewing on the waistline, you can see where I have here. So I'll just go ahead and cut off the excess net I have at the side. Just look at what I'm doing here. After sewing yours, if you have any excess at the net side, just go ahead and cut it off. You can see what I'm doing here. Don't cut it too much so you don't make mistake. Just look at what I'm doing here. Can you see? Go ahead and cut it off just like this. Then after cutting, the next thing you're going to do is to go ahead and keep this aside. Then you're going to work on the first layer, that is the first gather at the hem. Okay, so this is my first layer. So I already gone ahead to make a gather stitch. You get? So when making your gather stitch, it's not supposed to be tight. loosen it up. So I'll just go ahead to take the length I have for the net for the first layer. So I already measured 2 yards, as you can see. Then now I have 3 yards, and it's also I have 4 yards. Can you see? I measured again, and I have 5 yards plus some inches. Do you get? So now remember, I had 16 inches left for the two lengths. You get? So now I'm going to divide the 16 inches by 2, which is 8 inches. Then I'll add half an inch for the stitching allowance. So the first layer is 8 inches plus half an inch stitching allowance. That is 8.5. That is the length for the first layer. So after that, I'll just go ahead and pull out one of the thread, then go ahead and make my gathers like this. So when making this, you really need to endure, have some patience to do this, because this skirt looks simple, but it's not simple to make. That's the honest truth. This is the first layer, and I found it very difficult making this, not talk of the second layer. So I've already gone ahead to gather this. I'm done gathering. Okay, so now I am going to go ahead and place it. Just look at what I'm doing here. Go ahead and place it on top of this other net, just like this. Go ahead and place it. As you see, you place. As you see, you arrange it in place. You get? So after placing them like this, you're going to now head over to your sewing machine, then go ahead and sew on it. Do you get? At the top, sew like this. Then after doing that, I will be right back. So after doing this, you can see what I have here. So I'll just keep this aside, then I'll work on the second layer. So this is the second layer. I already gone ahead to make my gather stitch as well for the second layer. So I'll just go ahead and measure this other one as well. So remember, the first layer was 5 point some inches by yards, you get? So for this second layer, what I had here was times 2 of it, you get? That is 10 yards plus some inches. It could be 10.5 yards or even 11 yards because of those inches I had left for the net. So as you see me doing like this, I'm just gathering my net. So like I said earlier, I really need enough of patience to do this. This gathering of net is not easy. Like I said, the skirt looks simple, but as in can be so difficult to sew. So when making this, just take your time to do that. Do you get? So right here, you can see that I've gone ahead to gather it, and this is what it's looking like. So right now, just go ahead and bring the skirt. You can see the first layer here, so I'll just go ahead and place it on the first layer, that is on the bottom part of the first layer, just like this. Can you see? So I just place it like this, then head over to my sewing machine, then go ahead and sew on the top, just like this. Then I'll just go ahead and do that, and after doing that, I will be right back. So guys, after I was done doing that, you can see what I have here. So this was what I had after I was done. Can you see? So this is how it's looking like. Can you see? So now the next thing I'll just go ahead and do is to go ahead and fix my skirt band. So for the skirt band, I already gone ahead to cut out a long rope that is going to be enough to go around my waist. And again, I'll head over to my sewing machine, then go ahead and sew. So after I was done, so you can see what I have here. Can you see? And this is the down part. This is how everything is looking. You can see how beautiful it's looking. All right, what I did next was to add my zipper, like the zipper for the basket. I'll just show you guys the back. So this is the back. You can see that I've added my zipper. Can you see? So this was it on my dummy, and this is the end of this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching.